In this tutorial, we'll explore the beautiful geometric patterns that emerge when you combine a circle oscillator with a square oscillator inside Euler Visual Synthesizer. By blending these two simple shapes, we can create rich architectural forms. You will see curved corner scrolls, ornamental volutes, and rhythmic patterns inspired by the work of Frank Lloyd Wright. We will begin with a clean base shape. It looks like a square frame with soft circular curls at each corner. From there, we will use several tools inside EVS, including amplitude modulation, color masking, and radial duplication to bring the geometry to life. The result is an interactive art piece that evolves over time while remaining rooted in classic design principles. Here is the guiding intuition. The decorative curls appear because we mix a threefold circular rhythm with the fourfold symmetry of a square. The mismatch between 3 and 4 creates the Wright-like ornamentation. Later, we will add spatial amplitude modulation to give these curls a gentle spiral motion. Let's begin. Step 1. Start from a default preset. When you create a new preset in Euler Visual Synthesizer, you automatically get a circle in shape A with a frequency of 1, and a square in shape B, also with a frequency of 1. The mixer is set to add mode, 100% towards shape A. This gives us the foundation we want. Step 2. Enable numeric entry mode. If it is not already enabled, turn on numeric entry mode in the toolbar. Now, when selecting any frequency dial, you can enter precise numeric values. Simply type the number and hit return. Step 3. Convert shape A into a threefold circle. Select shape A. Open the OSC tab. Select the freak of X dial and type 3, return. Repeat for the freak of Y. Shape A is now a circle that completes 3 rotations around the vertex list. You will not see all 3 rotations directly because the geometry overlaps itself. But this threefold rhythm will become the curled scrolls in our final design. Step 4. Keep shape B as a one-fold square. Leave shape B at its default values with frequency of 1 for both X and Y oscillators. The square supplies the fourfold architectural structure. Step 5. Blend the two shapes. Open the mixer panel. Move the slider to about 2/3 to the right, which results in mixing 30% of shape A with 70% of shape B. At this ratio, the square defines the outline. The circle softens the corners. Their interaction creates the decorative volutes. You should now see the base ornamental form. Step 6. Add spiral modulation to the volutes. Open the LFO tab. Select LFO1. Set the freak of X to 0.15 and set phase of T to 0.08. Freak of X gives it some spatial modulation, or spirals, while phase of T rate adjust gives it some temporal modulation, or changing over time. Now return to the OSC panel. Set amp of X modulation source to LFO1. Set modulation amount to 0.3. This defines amount of spiral modulation applied to the corner swirls. You can adjust this value to taste. Repeat for amp of Y in the Y oscillator. This produces gentle spiral movement in the corner curls. Step 7. Manage square wave discontinuity lines. Square waves inherently contain large jumps or discontinuities. EVS can choose to draw or ignore lines across these discontinuities. To manage how EVS handles rendering of discontinuities, open the Render Properties module. Turn on Obey Line DX Threshold. Lower values remove discontinuity lines, while higher values render lines between large distance jumps. For a Wright-inspired ornament, faint internal lines actually feel appropriate. Setting the value about halfway works well for this shape. Step 8. Add radial duplicates. In the Symmetry section of the Effects panel, set duplicates to 3. This creates 4 total copies rotated around the center. The design, as it is now, might contain a bit too much geometry. In the next step, we will use some color and lightness modulation to create a tracing or reveal effect. Step 9. Add color and lightness modulation. Open the colorizer. You can drag the horizontal range sliders to taste to define the hue ramp used for the design. In this example, we will use a range from light blue to light pink for the hue. To create a slowly modulating reveal effect, we will make sure our lightness ramp includes the darkest part of the total lightness range. Drag the bottom of the lightness range all the way down to 0. Set lightness f of t to 0.15. The f of t value modulates the starting point of the lightness ramp over time, creating a slowly modulating and shifting reveal effect. Repeat the same for the hue f of t value to modulate the starting point of the hue ramp along the shape. For a smoother reveal, set the Render Blend mode to Add. Because additive blending ignores dark values, the black portions of the shape no longer draw over brighter areas. They simply vanish, letting the visible segments shine through. Step 10. Add gentle rotation. Open the Transformer tab. Apply slow Z-axis rotation to shape A. For the rotation transformation of shape B, we will set the built-in oscillator to use a sawtooth wave. This will allow us to create a continuous rotation when setting the depth to 1.0. If you would like the shape modulation to be synchronized to a beat, instead of using cycles per second values, you can switch the base frequency unit to BPM. For this type of modulation, a slow approach is typically preferred, so choose a rate of 4 or 8 measures, which defines the rate at which this transformer oscillator will complete a full cycle. This project shows how circles and squares can form complex architectural ornament. With modulation, lightness masking, and symmetry tools inside Euler Visual Synthesizer, you can explore an endless range of geometric designs. There are many opportunities to expand the modulation of this shape, including the use of a slowly modulating mixer, translation offset between X and Y oscillators, and modulating scale values. Experiment, tweak, duplicate, modulate, and most of all, enjoy the discovery.